Very good morning. Today we are going to start the second exercise 17b of integration. Right? In this exercise, basically we will find the trigonometric functions. We are going to calculate the integration of trigonometric function. We have already seen some questions on trigonometric functions in the previous exercise, but here we are going to have the detailed study of the integration for the trigonometric function. And in the previous exercise, I gave you the rules of integration. And then also I told you that integration is the reverse process, the inverse process of differentiation. Is this very clear? So when we have to find the integration of a given function, we will always try to sort out the question with the help of differentiation. If we can remember the differentiation rule, then integration is just opposite the reverse process of that, right? So we will try to sort out the question with the concept of differentiation. So let us see the first question whose integration we are asked to calculate is sine 2x, right? Sine 2x. Okay, so let us see. Suppose we have a function cos 2x, right? This is any function. Please remember, this is differentiation. I am going to teach you first of all differentiation of this given function, and then I will show you that how integration is the reverse process of differentiation. So let us just see one more for demonstration. Now we are differentiating dy by dx, and the function is d by dx of cos of 2x. Is this very clear? Now when you are differentiating, please be very mindful that we will be differentiating the trigonometric part and then we will be differentiating the angle part. Both we have to differentiate. So how do we do this? First of all, when we are differentiating the angle, the trigonometric part, the angle remains as it is, minus cos minus derivative of sin x is cos x is sin 2x. Okay. The derivative of cos will be negative. We have already studied in the previous lesson during the differentiation time. And now we are going to find the derivative of the derivative of angle 2x, right? So the derivative of 2 is a constant and it is with a variable, so the 2 will remain as it is, and then only we will find the derivative of x. So the derivative of x will be always 1. So from here we will get only 2, so minus 2, and this becomes your answer. So here what we need to remember is that when you are differentiating a given function, you are differentiating the trigonometric part and then you are differentiating the angle part, right? And after differentiating the trigonometric part, when you are differentiating the angle, that angle comes as a product in the form of product. Am I very clear? Now, now integration. Now let us integrate. I told you that the derivative of cos 2x is minus 2 sin 2x. Am I clear? This means if I integrate now, since integration is the reverse process, it means when I now integrate this, right, it should give me back this question. Okay. Here one thing I forgot to tell you, that we have to have always plus c. Okay. Sorry, this is differentiation, so nothing. Now, since integration is a reverse process of differentiation, therefore when I integrate this part, I should be getting this answer back. Okay, so let us see now. If I integrate this is minus 2. 2 is constant, that's why I am writing it outside. Then sine 2x and dx. Sine 2x and dx. Am I very clear or not? Now let us integrate this. This is integration. Minus 2 as it is. First we will integrate this one. Whose derivative is this sign? This sign is the derivative of cos, right? And you know that when you calculated the derivative of cos, when the cos was positive, its derivative you got was in negative. That means in the case of cos, right? If when one is positive, other comes as negative. Now here this is right now positive. Okay? That means its integration will come as negative. Okay? So it will come as a minus cos of 2x. right? This is the integration of trigonometric part. Minus cos, angle remains same. Okay. Now we are going to find the integration of the angle part. In the differentiation, this came as the product. So this time, because it is the reverse process, so the reverse of multiplication is division. Therefore, the integration of this part will come in the denominator. And because it is an indefinite integral, therefore we will have a constant of integration. Right? Now this and this is cancelled, minus minus plus. So this becomes cos 2x plus c. And now you can see here, you got the same. So when you differentiated this function, you got this result. When you integrated this function, you got the answer back. That is why we say that differentiation is the reverse process of integration. Hope I could make you clear. Now, now we are going to sort out our question. Okay, we are going to find the integration of this. Since we have already understood this example, it was a similar question. So for you now it will be very easy. Okay. So I is equal to integration of sine 2x dx. Okay. Now we are going to start. So integration of sine will be, this is the derivative of cos, right? This is the derivative of cos. So its answer will be negative. Integration will be negative. This is minus cos 2x. Am I clear? Now we are going to find the integration of this part. So this will be 2. Okay? And this is plus c. That's all. This is single step answer. Am I very clear or not? Is it alright? Okay. Let us take another question. Another question we will take is question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3 is 1 over 3 cos 4x. Cos 4x. Okay, this is your question. Now, when we integrate this function, I is equal to, this constant can be always separated, right? No need of writing it inside the integration sign. This is cos 4x dx. Okay, this constant will remain as it is, 1 over 3. Now we will find the integration of cos, and cos is the differentiation of sine, right? This result came from derivative of sine, and in case of derivative of sine, the answer comes out positive. That means the quotient is positive and answer also will be positive. Therefore here the sign will not change, and the integration of this will be sine 4x. Am I clear? So this is the integration of your trigonometric part. Now we are going to find out the integration of the angle part. So angle part will be simply, it will come as a divisor, because you know that this is the reverse process of differentiation. When it was differentiation, we used to write this as a product. Now we are writing this as a quotient, and that's finally answer plus c. Clear? Now we can simplify, because these two are constants, so they can be simplified. This is 1 over 12 sine 4x plus c. Am I very clear? This is your question number 3. Let us see one more question. Roman number 5 question number 5 is 8 sec square 8x. This is our question. 8 in times sec square 8x. So when we find the integration of this function, I will be, again constant will be separated. Whenever the constant is in the product form or in the quotient form, we can separate it because that will remain untouched. So this is sec square 8x dx. Is it okay? So now 8 is as it is. Now think of sec square. Sec square, right? Sec square, whose derivative is sec square? Is sec square is the derivative of any function? You have to think from that point of view. Do you think that sec square is the derivative of any trigonometric function? If you get answered yes, you can go for direct integration. So sec square is the derivative of tan. That means the integration of sec square will be tan, and then angle is 8x, so 8x. Now the integration of the trigonometric part is done. Now we have to find out the integration of the angle part. So that will come as a quotient. So this is divided by 8 and then lastly plus c. So this 8 and this 8 is cancelled. Your answer is tan 8x plus c. This is your final answer. Now the next question we have is Roman number 7. Right? Very simple question. Once again we are going to find out the integration of this given function. So let us write this as integration of sec 5x tan 5x dx. Okay. Now we have our trigonometric function in the form of product. Now first of all, before we go to this question, I will tell you that in differentiation we have several rules. Differentiation we have rule for addition, for subtraction, for multiplication, for division. For multiplication, the differentiation rule we have is called as product law, right? Where we write this as y is equal to u into v, and then we differentiate. You know the product rule. Similarly, we have the rule for the quotient form, division form of quotient. But in integration, there is a limitation. In integration, there is a limitation that we do not have any rule for product law, for product or for quotient form. If you have your quotient in the form of product form or in the quotient form, then we don't have any rule. We have to do some kind of substitution, or maybe we have to do some kind of conversion, some other changes we have to do, and then only we will be able to integrate, because there is no rule for multiplication and there is no rule for quotient division. Now, knowing that fact, we are now moving on to this question: sec x into tan 5x. So sec 5x into tan 5x, right? This is the quotient of the form sec x into tan x, right? Now, the minute we say sec x into tan x, do you think that this product, this sec x into tan x, is the derivative of any trigonometric function? If you get the answer yes, then there is no problem. Then the quotient is in the form of product or in any form, we are not worried. Am I clear? So the minute I read this as sec x into tan x, I remember that sec x into tan x is the derivative of sec x, right? So therefore this can be integrated without doing anything. So we will write this as the derivative of this part will be sec x, that is, and x is 5x, so sec 5x. Clear? Now we are done with the trigonometric part. We have calculated the integration of trigonometric part. Now we are moving on to the angle part, and angle is 5x, so the derivative of the integration of 5x will be 5 in the denominator, right? And then at the end we will write plus c. That's all. One step answer. Is it okay? So finding the integration of the trigonometric function is not at all difficult. Let us see one more question of this Roman number 9. This question is 3 into x sine of x over 2. Very simple question. Again, very simple question. So we are moving on to the integration part. So I is equal to 3 is in the form of product, so 3 will be separated. We will just have sine x over 2 plus c. Right? Now 3 we will write, and then we will see. Is this the derivative of any trigonometric function? Yes. This is the derivative of cos. And when you calculated the derivative of cos, the cos was positive, you got the answer being negative. That means here the sign will change. Similarly, then in that case, since the derivative of cos is in negative, therefore integration of this will be also in negative. So this will become minus here, and the integration of sine will become cos, and then angle will be as it is, because we are only calculating the integration of the trigonometric part. Now we are moving on to the angle part. So the integration of this will be, this half will come in the denominator, right? This plus c we don't write here. Sorry. In place of this we write this as dx. And now after this, this 1 over 2 will go upside down. This 1 over 2 will go upside down. Am I very clear? So this will become minus 3 into 2, because half of the reciprocal of 1 over 2 will be 2 over 1. 1 in the denominator we don't write. Then cos of x over 2 plus C. Final answer we will have is minus 6 cos x over 2 plus C. This becomes your answer. We are moving on to question number 2. This is similar to question number 1, right? There is no difference in question number 1 and question number 2. Just the angle in place of monomial, now it has become binomial, right? Binomial. So just some few examples we will see. We will find out the integration of this given function. I is equal to integration of cos of 5 minus 3x dx. Now the way we calculated the integration of such function in question number 1, same way we will find out the integration of this function in question number 2, right? What step we have followed? We calculated first of all the integration of the trigonometric part, and then we calculated the integration of the angle part, right? When you calculate the integration of the trigonometric part, you will use the derivative, right? You will try to find out that this answer we got from the derivative of which trigonometric function. Which trigonometric function derivative is cos. So if you can get this answer, whose child is this? Whose child is this? This is the child, this is born from sine, right? When you calculated the derivative of sine, you got the result as cos. That means sine was father and cos is son. So if son is, when the father is sine, the son is cos. Now the son is cos, so who is the father? Just find out the father. That's it. Is this very clear? So that's the one thing. You will find out the integration of the trigonometric part, and now when you find the integration of the angle part, this integration will come in the denominator. That much only we have to keep in mind, which we have done in the previous question. So this comes as, this is the derivative of sine, right? And you remember when the function is sine, its derivative, when the function is sine and it is positive, the derivative of that also will be positive. That means the father and son both will have the same sign. So here also the son and the father will have the same sign. So this will just become sine. Okay, the integration of cos will be sine, angle as it is, 5 minus 3x, right? Now we will find the integration of the angle part, and the angle part, this is constant, so the integration of this part will be 0, and the integration of this part will be minus 3. This is minus 3, and then finally plus c. Is this very, very clear? So this is your answer of question number 1. Any doubt? If you have any question, later on also through the WhatsApp group, you can ask me question, right? I always give you freedom to ask me question through WhatsApp group. Number 2, let us see number 2. Number 2, the question number 2 is 2 sine pi over 2 minus x over 2. X over 2. This is a little interesting question, right? This is a little interesting question. Now you can compare this question with this question, right? Where it is different. The question is sine. 2 is in the form of product, so 2 will remain as it is only. So I'm just ignoring for some time. I'm seeing the question as sine pi over 2 minus x over 2, right? X over 2. Sine pi over 2 means, pi over 2 means what? Pi over 2 means 90. So sine 90 minus theta. This question is in the form of sine 90 minus theta. That means we can use the compound angle formula. Allied angle formula. We will use the allied angle formula, and first of all we will simplify this function, and then we will go for integration. Okay. So let me simplify this function. 2. And you know, in the allied angle formula, I will just remind you, in the allied angle formula for sine 90 minus theta, the trigonometrical ratio will change. When the angle was in the allied angle, when the angle is 90 minus theta or 90 plus theta, then the trigonometrical ratio used to change, isn't it? Sine changes to cos, cos changes to sine, tan changes to cot, cot changes to tan, sec changes to cosec, and cosec changes to sec. So this changes take place when the angle is in terms of 90 minus theta or 90 plus theta. So here the trigonometrical ratio will change. So this sign will change into cos, right? And theta is x over 2. So this will be x over 2. Now this is your new modified quotient. This is no more your quotient. Now your quotient is this, and you have to find out the integration of this new function. So let us calculate I. I is equal to 2 is out, cos x over 2 dx. Now you might be understanding also this 2. Whose son is this? This is the son of sine, right? Whose son is this? This is the son of sine. And when the father was positive, the son also was positive. That means here also when the son is positive, the father also has to be positive. So therefore this will be sine x over 2. This is the integration of your trigonometric part. Now angle part, so divided by half. Sorry, divided by half. And then plus c. Am I very clear or not? After this, now what we can do is this will go upside down. So it will become 2 into 2 sine x over 2 plus c. Finally your answer is 4 into sine of x over 2 plus c. This becomes your answer. Am I clear? This was your question number 3. Okay. Let us see one more question, Roman number 4. Roman number 4. Roman number 4, your question is sec square 2x minus 4. Okay. Now this is your question. So how I will read this? At first, I will read this question as sec square x, right? For the angle, I will see later on, because calculating the integration of angle is very easy. My worry is only the trigonometric part. So sec square x. Now, sec square x is the child of which trigonometric function? Sec square x, is he the child of any trigonometric function? Or is sec square x is the answer of any of the trigonometric derivative of any trigonometric function? If you get the answer, you can go ahead. So we know that sec square x is the derivative of tan x, right? And when the tan x was positive, its derivative also was positive. So when the quotient is positive, its answer also was positive. Therefore, here also integration, when you calculate, I is equal to integration of sec square 2x minus 4 dx, right? So integration of this will be tan x, and your x is 2x minus 4. We calculated the derivative integration of the trigonometric part. Now for the angle part is only to calculate integration for 2x, because integration of this constant alone will be 0. So here this comes as only 2, and then plus c. This becomes your answer. Is this very, very clear or not? This was Roman number 4. Now we will take one more question from this question number 4, and that is question number 2. That question is Roman number 5. Roman number 5. This is 1 over sine square. What's the angle? Sine square a plus b x. Okay, a plus bx. Now this is your new question, and this question is in the form of quotient, right? I already told you that there is no integration rule for the product form, or there is no rule for the quotient form. So if we have quotient in the form of product form and quotient form, then first of all we need to simplify the function, and after simplifying the function only we can proceed for the integration. So this, how can we change the quotient? 1 over sine square. 1 over sine. 1 over sine is what? Is the reciprocal of cosec. Is the reciprocal of cosec. That means this can be written as, first we are modifying the quotient. This is, we can write this as cosec. Here I will write in the next step. I can write this as this is cosec square a plus bx. This quotient we can write as, because you know that 1 over sine is the means it's a reciprocal of sine, and reciprocal of sine is cosec square x. So 1 over sine square a plus bx can be written as cosec square a plus bx. Am I very clear? And after this we can go for integration, because we know that this is the derivative of cot. This is the derivative of cot. And you remember, when the function was cot, its derivative was in negative. That means when the quotient is positive, answer is negative. That means the answer is, sign is different. So here also it will be different. So let us first of all write it. This is cosec square a plus bx, okay, and dx, okay. So its answer will come for the trigonometric part. It will be minus cot of x. X is a plus bx, right? Now this is the integration of your trigonometric part. Now for the angle part, so only for b, because a is constant and therefore its integration will be also 0, right? And this is plus c. So this becomes the answer of your question. Now question number 3. Now here you will see that we will get the function all in the form of either product or in the form of quotient. And as I told you that we have no rule for integration, no rule for product or quotient law in integration. So if we get quotients in the form of product or in the form of quotient, how can we integrate? So we are going to learn from question number 3. Please remember, if you have your function in the form of product or in the form of quotient, then we can integrate such functions by using the substitution method. So I am going to introduce you with substitution method, right? So this is your question and you are going to integrate. So I is equal to, first of all, I will just show what we are going to do. This is sine square theta cos theta d theta. Because the angle is in terms of the variable is theta, therefore this also will be d theta. If this is x, then this will be dx. Am I very clear? Now, this is the first step that what we are going to do. So from here we understand that we are going to integrate the given function. But as I told you that the function is in the form of product, so we have to integrate this by using the substitution method. So what we do in the substitution method, see now. Now from these two, which one is the higher degree? The higher degree is sine. So we can assume, we can say put sine theta, don't take the degree, sine theta, right, is equal to something called as, suppose t. You can assume this sine theta as anything. Clear? Now for this sine theta, is this going to be replaced by t? Sine theta is assumed as t, that means the sine square theta will be written as t square, right? Now in this function we need to have all the same variable. All the variable has to be same. So you are substituting the t for this. So t could be one of the variable. Now when t is one variable, then how can we have the other variable? Is this very clear or not? So in the substitution method, we have chosen the higher degree and then we have assumed this as t. Now because this is going to be expressed in terms of t, that means the other things also has to be expressed in terms of t. Am I very clear? So to do that, now what we can do is, we will differentiate the sine theta with respect to t. Theta with respect to t. So differentiating, right? Differentiating with respect to t. With respect to t. So the derivative of sine theta, sorry, dt, because theta is going to be differentiated in terms of, okay, yeah, theta, okay. So this is sine theta, right, and this is dt over d theta. You know the derivative of sine theta is cos theta. So cos theta is equal to dt over d theta. Now look at your question. You substituted sine theta is equal to t, right? So this part is sorted out. Now we are left with cos theta and d theta, right? So we have to find the value of cos theta and d theta. So that cos theta and d theta value we can get from here. Already we have got it, so we will do one more step, and this will be written as cos theta. D theta will come to this side, will become d theta is equal to dt. That means the value of cos theta d theta can be written also as equal to dt. Okay, so now we can continue. We will write this as I is equal to integration. For sine theta, you have assumed this as t, and this is because sine square theta. So this part we can write as t square, right? And for cos theta d theta, what we can write is dt. Now this becomes your new question. This question is reduced to this one. You can see here, your question was given in the form of product. Now these two we have replaced by one single variable. So now it is no more a product form. Okay. Now we can easily integrate. So integration of this will be, like t to the power n, a to the power x to the power n. What we do is power is increased by 1. So t to the power 3, and that same increased power will come in the denominator, and then this is plus c. Am I very clear? Now lastly you have to put the value of t back. So t is sine theta, and t cube means sine cube theta divided by 3 plus c, and this becomes your answer. I try to explain you in detail. Once again, a very quick revision summary of this question is, this function is given to us in the form of product, and then we know that there is no rule for the product. Therefore, we are managing with substitution method. So we have, from these two functions, we will choose the higher degree, right? Every time we will choose the higher degree. So this is higher degree, that means this is substituted as equal to t, right? That means now this part is going to be written as in the form of t. So when this part is written in the form of t, for this also we have to find out the same variable, in terms of same variable. Therefore, we are differentiating this part. So whatever you assume, every time you will be differentiating. So after differentiation, you got this as cos theta is equal to dt over d theta. When you look at your question, your requirement is cos theta into d theta. Therefore, this d theta is taken to the left hand side, and you got the value of cos theta into d theta as equal to dt. Right? Now we can do the final substitution. So for this part, we are writing this as t cube, t square, and for cos theta d theta, we are writing this as equal to dt. So dt, and then after that integration in one step, and then after final integration, you have to bring the variable back. So this is how we do the question number 3. Now this is question number 3, number 2. Once again, you can see here, you have your function in the form of product, 10 to the power 4 theta into sec square theta, right? Product form. So product form, what I told you is we will do it by substitution method. So for substitution method, what we can do is we will take the higher degree, right? So the higher degree is 10 to the power 4 theta. So this will be assumed. So for this we can write put 10 theta, right, as equal to t. Once again, that means now this part can be written as t to the power 4, because 10 theta is taken as equal to t, therefore, and it is 10 to the power 4 theta. So this 10 to the power 4 theta, using this we can write as t to the power 4. Now we have substituted this with t. Then what about this part? This also has to be expressed in terms of t only. Am I very clear? So what we will do is differentiating. Okay. So while differentiating, what happens is the derivative of this is d over d theta is into 10 theta is equal to dt over d theta, right? So the derivative of 10 theta is sec square theta, right? And this is dt over d theta, right? According to your question, your requirement is the value of sec square theta into d theta. So this d theta is taken to left hand side. So sec square theta d theta is equal to dt. Now we got the solution for this part also. This part can be replaced by dt. So we can now rewrite this question. Now we can write this as t to the power 4, and for this part we can write as equal to dt. So this is dt, and now final answer. You can integrate. This is t to the power 5 because the power increases, and then same power comes in the denominator plus c. Now final, we will write the value of t back. So is equal to t is how much? 10 theta. So this is 10 to the power 5 theta divided by 5 plus c. This is your answer. We are taking one more question, and now this time you can see your question is given in the form of question. Once again, I am repeating that there is no rule for multiplication, there is no rule for integration in there is no rule for division in integration. So we have to sort out this type of questions by using substitution method. And from the previous two questions, you have already learned the technique. So for substitution, you will always choose the higher degree, right? So we can say put the higher degree is sine cube theta. So we can say sine theta is equal to t. Now you are going to assume, you have already assumed, now this can be written as t to the power 3. The derivative will become t to the power 3. So this is replaced by t. Now what about the other things? Cos theta into d theta. For that also we have to find out the solution. Therefore we are differentiating this given function. So differentiating, so sine d over d theta of sine theta is equal to dt over d theta. The derivative of sine theta is cos theta, and this is equal to dt over d theta. You have to look at the question. What is the requirement? The value of cos theta into d theta. So that means d theta will come to this side. So this is cos theta into d theta is equal to dt. Am I very clear? Now we can go for substitution. So this is your question. Now I is equal to integration. For cos theta d theta, you are writing as dt. And this is for this other thing, you will write this as 1 over t cube, and this will become dt. Am I very clear? Still this is in the form of quotient. Am I very clear? But this quotient can be easily converted into whole number form. So we can rewrite this as I is equal to integration of t to the power minus 3 into dt. And now we can integrate. The power will increase, so you have to add 1 to the power. So this will become t to the power minus 2, and then same power will come in the denominator plus c, right? When your power is negative, you used to take it down, make it positive. So this is 1 over 2 t to the power 2 plus c. Final. Now you have to put the value of t back. So this is minus 1 over 2 sine square theta plus c, and this becomes your answer. Hope I am very clear. So today we are ending our session with question number 3. Thank you so much. Please keep enjoying, keep learning, and keep practicing mathematics. Stay safe. Take care. Thank you.